Hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? So we're going to take a look at that Genesis 2 that I got back in September, I think. It was listed as having some graphic glitches and some other odd issues. So I figured what we'll do first is we'll plug it in, power it up, and see if we see anything. So let me get everything hooked up and a second camera set up so we can focus it on the TV, and we'll go from there. All right. Two cameras recording, hopefully they're synchronized, otherwise I'll have to figure it out post-editing. We'll use this busted up copy of College Football 95 because I don't really care in case it gets damaged. Okay. A little bit of banding on screen, but that's probably normal. It's a little blurry, but that's because it's AV connected to an LCD screen, so it's just composite video. This just shut off. Reset does nothing. Lights are still on, it's not the breaker. It's not the power strip. The power jack is a little bit loose. Maybe it's got a bad connection. Not getting anything. Oh, that's a problem. Let me pause my second camera so we don't waste any battery power or storage. I guess a bad power supply is an issue. Let me see if I can find my universal one and hope that that one works. Okay, so the plug that I have that'll fit, the barrel jack is kind of too short and it's angled, so it's hard to get it in, so I've got to kind of overhang it off of the edge of the back of the desk, so I apologize that it's not completely in focus. But we've got power. Still see the bands there, but again, I think that's normal. Could also be the LCD TV, it's older. I don't know if you can see on the B-roll or not, but the very top and bottom of the screen, at least when it's white, kind of shows discoloration. I don't know if it's delaminating or what. Turn the volume down. So far it seems to be working. I don't see any real corruption. At the very bottom there is, but that's an overscan area. So yeah, that you can ignore that. That's normal. But I'm not seeing anything, and it hasn't shut off on me yet. I'm wondering if it's just a bad AC adapter, because bad power can do all kinds of crazy things to a system, including corrupt graphics. It's definitely common on NES systems with bad power supplies, both the power brick and internal. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I should go out to one of my retro stores and see if I can get a new power supply. Let's try a different game though, just in case. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do the fake EverDrive. Still turns on. All right, so one of the benefits of it taking so long to be able to copy is it let the console be on for more than a minute, and everything seems to be fine. Again, at the very bottom of the screen, you're going to see the overscan area with a little bit of glitchiness there. That is normal. That happens on the NES and the SNES too, I believe. So, but I don't see any real graphic corruption or anything. So maybe it was just a bad power supply. I mean, I could still give it a cleaning. The cartridge slot probably needs to be cleaned. And I definitely don't want to operate this with this universal adapter just because A, I want to be able to use it for all kinds of different things, and B, the adapter, of course, and B, I'd much rather have a dedicated one. Yeah, those jail bars are still there, though. That's, like I said, that's a known thing with the Genesis, but it could also just be a result of this being an older LCD screen, too. Yeah, so my dilemma here is I don't have a very interesting video to show you guys because there's not much to repair. I'm going to open it up anyway to take a look in case there's any damage or anything like that. Want to take a look at the power jack just in case. But I still need to get like I said, a power supply for it. So I'm going to check out the local retro game stores and see if I can find an original one. And if not, hopefully a good quality third-party replacement, because a lot of the third-party ones are really cheap and chintzy. When I bought one a while back, it's a universal one, should work with the NES, SNES, and a Genesis. And it's as light or even lighter than the Genesis cartridge. So, whereas the official AC adapters, AC-DC adapters, are going to have some heft to them. So, but in the meantime, let's open this up and take a look inside. We'll have to give it a cleaning, obviously. Take a look at the power jack just to make sure that it's secured and look for anything else. All right, looks like there's just 4 Phillips screws on the outside here. Four. All right, let's see. What is that? Shielding. All right. A little bit of dust, but that's expected. Ooh, and some critter or something that might have croaked in there. Yeah, this is going to need a bath for sure. But let's continue on. So it looks like we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws. 3 of them black, probably similar to these, and then the rest are like brass colored screws. Let's see, I don't necessarily see any signs of leaky capacitors, although looks like there is a mix of capacitors. There's Rubicons and there's Chisi, CHHSI. I can't tell. Either way, whatever. Maybe someone recapped this already at some point. But I don't see anything out of the norm. Power jack actually seems fine, so it must have been just the power connector itself. Now to remove the board, you also have to remove these 2 screws as well, and the furnace is kicking in. I apologize. It's cold as all hell out there. And I know that's kind of funny to say considering hell is not supposed to be cold, it's supposed to be hot. Try not to mix up these screws with the other black screws because they are longer. And then that should just lift out, revealing the bottom shield, which isn't too bad. I don't see any signs of any rework. This also does not have the bodge that some of the Model 2s have. This could be a later revision. Gross. Yeah, I'll try to filter the furnace out post-editing, hopefully. I can do it. But I don't see anything that was reworked on here, so that must be all factory, that they just did a bunch of different capacitors. Yeah, whatever. We'll give it a cleaning. This is the, well, we'll look at the revisions. It's a VA1, so maybe they didn't do the badge on the first revision. It was a later one. Hard to say. I'll have to do some research. Looks like this might have been used with the Sega CD based on the scratches on the edge connector there. So, and these are not stains. It looks like there's some sort of quality control stamps. This one says T-34, T-64, and I can't read that one because it's completely eroded, worn out, worn away, whatever. There is some residue here. I'm not sure if it's flex residue or something was spilled. But considering how gross and disgusting this board is, I'm going to have to clean it anyway. This here is more of a stabilizer for the actual system board. It's probably good to have that there so you can prevent some board flex when you're putting cartridges in and pulling them out. Additional stabilization there. Alright, I'm going to go give it a cleaning off camera because no one wants to actually see that. And while it's soaking and everything, I'm going to go ahead and run out to the local game store, pick up a replacement power supply, and we'll put it back together, make sure it still works, and wrap this video up. There's a few different methods you can use to clean the cartridge slot. One, if you have a cleaning kit, you can just, use that and go from there. Another option that you can use is to spray a bunch of IP on your cartridge and up and down a few times. And it's probably recommended to do that if you've got your system fully assembled because it'll be a lot easier than this third method will, which you kind of pretty much need direct access to the console for, or at least a cartridge slot for that. And that is to take a microfiber cloth like the kind you would use to clean your eyeglasses and like some kind of an old card, like this is an old Dave & Buster's card. Spray this with IP and then just carefully slot it up and down. You're kind of making your own pseudo cartridge slot cleaner that would come in a kit like the 1-Up kits or even the old school ones from Sega and Nintendo. So and this seems to be, is this the exact, that's going to be too wide, so I have to use the shorter edge. This card doesn't have any points on it anyway, so if you try to record the number down and use it, it won't get you anywhere. You don't want to use anything thicker than a card, especially since you're going to wrap it with some cloth that's going to make it even thicker, because you don't want to run the risk of bending any of these pins here. You do that and you're going to have a bad day. So that should fix that for now. It should be clean enough. If not, then I can just go over it later. So that's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and let the shell and all the plastic components that were loose soak and get clean and everything, and we'll scrub them later. I'm also going to tackle the beginning corrosion that's here, try to get that from worsening as well as here too, and we'll put it back together. I got done cleaning the shell. It's not perfect. There's definitely, cleaning it actually exposed a lot of scratches and things like that, and these shiny parts like this ring and then this power button, reset button, power LED area definitely shows how scuffed it is. I don't have any polishing wheels, so I can't really take care of that, but that's fine because it kind of lends to its charm. It shows how it was used and utilized and everything. So a bunch of just random plastic pieces that no one cares about ultimately because they're just plastic pieces. And then of course the bottom shell here, not as bad as I thought. The rubber feet are still attached, fortunately. Yeah, so there's that. So here's the RF shielding. I went over with a silver paint pen over the spots that were corroded. Well, they cleaned up corrosion to keep them protected, but of course, kind of makes it look ugly. But at the same time, this is going to be inside, so I don't care too much. And the other shell is effectively the same thing. So what we're going to do is look at the motherboard, and I did find the cover for it. I had to reshoot some footage earlier on. That's why you saw it on and then missing and then on again. This had managed to slip behind here and underneath. So, and yeah, like I said, here's the bottom shielding with some more of the paint pen stuff. But again, it's not going to be visible. So, yeah, I mean, it came out pretty clean. I was able to get rid of a lot of the stickiness, the leftover flux. And I think it's ready to be reassembled. So, time for a montage. All right, now that we have this reassembled, let's go ahead and give it another test just to make sure it still works. And I did manage to pick up a official Model 2 power supply. Should also work for the Model 3 and I believe the Game Gear. A little dirty and stuff, but I can always clean that. And we'll try the games again, make sure it's working. We'll leave it on for a bit, make sure it doesn't just cut off like it did before. And wrap this video up. Oh, there we go. Yep, cable wasn't all the way in. Scared me for a second. Sounds working. Okay, no improving the picture quality because I believe this needs some mods done to get rid of the jail bars, but I still don't see any graphic glitches, and so far it's still on, so. Flub that one. But the game seems to work. Let's leave it on for a little bit and see if it shuts off on its own or not. So yeah, so it hasn't shut off yet. Let's try the fake EverDrive. We'll just play what's already in memory, which I think is Sonic 3. Now, if you're wondering why the sound is off, it's only mono, because I only have a mono cable plugged in to the back of the television as an extension. So overall, this wasn't a true repair video, unfortunately, because all it needed really was a new power adapter. But, you know, tearing it apart did, you know, give me a little bit of experience with these. So if I ever run into another one that needs repair work or anything, at least I know how to take it apart. It's not built as well, in my opinion, as the Model 1. I mean, the power button just kind of sits there. I don't know if there's supposed to be a spring for the power button or not. I didn't see one when I took it apart. Maybe there's supposed to be one. Maybe if someone's been in here before, I'm not sure. But it just kind of rocks there. It doesn't affect anything, but, you know, it just, you know, they probably should have included a spring in there, but that's fine. Yeah, this is the VA1 model. I guess there were 5 or 6 different revisions. The VA1 had a 1.8 revision. And then there was like a VA2, I think like a VA6, 7, 8, and all that. They all basically just contain different types of video encoders and maybe some board redesigns and things like that. So there's reasons people want one version over another. And I guess the later version you get has better video output, even without modding it. So I guess the best one to get is the Model 1 VA1 high definition graphics version, the one that has an extension port in the back. Whatever. I mean, it looks fine. I mean, it doesn't look great because it's an LCD screen. If I hook it up to the CRT, it'll probably look just fine. It sounds fine. I'm not too concerned with that. But what you guys think about this video? Anything I should have done? Should I do a mod to it? Should I, you know, just leave it as is? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet, although there's never any obligation to do so, but I do appreciate it. If you didn't like this video, hit the thumbs down. But if you do that, please also leave a comment below explaining why so I can try to use that to help things going forward. Otherwise, thanks all, and I'll catch you later.